Welcome to this video where we are going to discuss triggering workflows with keyboard shortcuts. Not to be confused with keyboard shortcuts that you would use while building your app in Bubble, but stick around and we're going to dive into this topic. So as you can see on the screen, what we've got going is this pathway through the video where we will install the plugin, add the element to the page, set up the workflows, and there's a bonus where you'll learn a pretty cool conditional. I think it's cool because it isolates the scenario that the person is working in so that these keyboard shortcuts, they wouldn't work in a bunch of different spots, only in a particular place, which I think is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at the plugin that we'll be using. It is from the folks over at zeroqode, the old school plugin makers. I mean, old school as in they've been around a while in the world of Bubble, and they have some great and well-supported plugins out there. So check them out. Okay, so this Air keyboard shortcut, that is what we're going to look for over in our Bubble editor. And then we are going to take a look also. So it is this one here. So just do a search for Air keyboard. 2 words, and then you'll find it. Very popular, 90,000 views or 90,000 downloads into apps. And okay, let's talk briefly about this plugin and what you'll do to kind of get things going. I just want to show off so we'll have this, we'll draw in an element here shortly in a moment. And then we have a couple different options of things we can be doing. So we can allow key combinations. So let's see, Shift K, boom. We see that combination was triggered, or just any keys, any keystrokes. So SH, and then this will be GO, Command Enter. Did I do that right? GO, Option Enter. Okay. So we can see that. So GO, I guess mod is command on a Mac. Okay, so you can see that these are the types of combinations that we'll be working with. And in my particular setup, I'm going to be working with this one. I like this one where you have one after another, and there's some kind of timer mechanism on it where it needs to be pressed twice, or well, in my case, I'm going to make it twice, so that it's like, yes, we're sure that the person intended to do this, and it's a little doot tap on a key and triggers a workflow. Now, let's talk briefly. So we're going to go over, we're going to get that set up, but let's talk briefly about like scenarios that this works in. So there's a ton of different types of apps out there. Bubble is awesome because it's so flexible, and I hope that you're, finding this world to be exciting for all the possibilities that Bubble can unlock for you in terms of what it is you're building. And so obviously if you're here and you made it to this point, you want to know about this possibility of adding this keyboard triggered workflows. Let's talk about the scenario so that we're going to see here in this particular case. So, I was going to say there's a lot of different types of apps, and the types that I think this is really useful for, you could use it across all types of stuff. Do not limit your imagination. Keep it going. But what this app is here is it's a large data set. So data processing, I think it can be very useful. So in this case, and given, the rise of AI technology and blah, 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 but sometimes AI technology may not give us the results we're looking for. And so we're, tweaking things. So super bonus on this awesome, not exactly scientific, but methodical process for processing, AI responses or whatever. But so that's the scenario for this one. But so here, we return four different images from a AI art generation tool. And in this case, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 if we're going to keep these so they get processed. And this was let's see, let's go ahead and refresh. This was an activity of shooting basketballs underwater in a coral reef. These are the kind of things that were being experimented with in this particular one. And this guy's leg is it's a little, his hand there, it didn't work so well, right? So we can see that, maybe that's one that we don't keep or something like that. So this is one use case for it, but I think the high level principle here is data entry for business types of apps where people would be handling, and it's an actual person. We need a human there to make a judgment call on some data or to process data, basically. data processing person. And we're going to make their job easier. Now, by going in here, and we already got this plugin installed. So shifting gears into, let's see, we've installed the plugin. We looked at where you click to install it, add the element to the page, and choose the shortcut type. So let's do that now. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead. I guess I'll just delete these out and show you what to do. So go over here and then look for Air keyboard shortcuts. And then we're just going to draw this element in. And there it is. So easy as that. So airboard, blah, 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 number A. Now I'm just going to go ahead and so basically I have 5 of these in. And the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to go 1 space 1, 2 space 2, 3 space 3, 4 space 4. And then R happens to be R space R. R happens to be really close to 4 on the keyboard. So it's like we're done with the data work and then we're done. You know, we're going to trigger a workflow that processes and keeps us or ends this. Okay, so what do we need? Let's see. This is an example that is particular to utilizing this plugin. So just to really enforce it or reinforce the idea that, you know, once you have this set up, just pick and go with how you want to do it. But so given the particular example here, I have some custom states here on this particular floating group that basically flies in and allows us to, okay, fine, do some processing on stuff like this, etc., etc. And again, to put it in your world, you'll have to decide where and how you want to make this trigger stuff works. But let's go set up the workflow for one, where I'm going to basically, let's see, let's head to the workflow. And here is where you find it out, or find a thing. So a keyboard shortcut is triggered. Here's how you trigger it. So for that, and I want to do this, we're skipping ahead. So to this setup work, or the setup workflow is the bonus, learn a cool conditional. I think this is a cool conditional anyways, is that, so we have this floating group and it is when it is visible. So I think that a really, really cool conditional is when you use things when they're visible, because you're isolating a particular scenario of when this keyboard stroke would be capable of, you know, triggering the workflow action. So when it's that, and this thing, let's see. No, it's actually going to be that floating group. When we think about it, we're changing a yes no state. So when it's keep one is let's say when it's no, then we'll turn to yes, and we'll have the same conditional. So now we're getting actually, you know, we're still in my world of my example. You'll take what you learned from this and apply it to your world. But so what I'll do here is I'll set the state of this thing, and that is on the floating group where I placed it. It is the keep one. We'll turn it to yes. And then I'll go ahead and I will copy. So let's see. And to point this out, very important point. Apologies for the overlooking the detail. You want to make sure that you select the element that aligns to, so it's when this element is going to be triggered. And so, because in this case, I want it for this, typos all over the place today. 1-1. Yeah, so when someone hits the 1-1 on this keyboard shortcut A, my intention as the person programming this is for this to do this one, and then for this keep one, go yes. And then I'm just going to cruise along and finish up the stuff for my particular scenario here, and feel free to follow along. But I'll just go ahead and I'll do the rest of these so we can get to the end of this. And just because how Bubble is, I'll try and narrate this. Usually it doesn't make sense when you see someone that gets in their flow on here. It's not the easiest to follow, or that's just my opinion. But what I've done is I've taken the yes and the no side for this conditional, and then basically I've done it for B, and then now for C on keep 3. But I did a little bit off screen just to move this along. But so then this one will be D, and then that would be all 4 of these. So keep 4, we'll change the state of key 4 to no, and then I'll just share with you what I have for my particular example if you're, following along and really want to dive into the particulars of what's going on. Because basically the way I have it set it up is that if it's already no, then we'll change it to yes when it's hit. When it's yes, we'll change it to no in case somebody makes an error. And then again, this is just data processing stuff. So even though this is my particular example, good to know for your world. So here for B, when it's no, the state changes to yes. Here, when it's yes, the state changes to no. Notice that though this is keyboard B, this is B, A for the keyboard shortcuts. Now we're on to C. So C is this keep 3. When it's no, we go to yes. And this is C. This is keep 3. When it's yes, we go to no. Keep D. Airboard keyboard shortcuts D. For keep 4, it's no. We change it to aha. Look at that. It's no. We change it to yes. And good. Let's see. What's the word for it? Good to double check your work. Because that's important. All right, because, yeah. Okay, so no goes to yes, and yes goes to no. Again, all for keep 4. Keep 4 is the conditional and the one in the state. Woo-wee, okay. Got it, nailed it. Triple check. Okay, and then these are D. So then we have one more left, and this would be when keyboard shortcut is triggered, and this is the number E. This is the R one. And then on this one, obviously the stuff has been processed. So I'll go ahead and I'll make a change to now in this particular case. So here's how I like it. And actually this was something for your world to, consider. I like setting things in states. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. We'll also, in order to, now I'm going to go and update the conditionals on these. Okay, so what I've just done is I've just added the the thing that I want to happen, which, just off video, I wanted flat color, background color, and the text will turn to white. But what I want to have happen here is on this floating group, it has this custom state of keep 1. When it is yes, that's when I want this to be the case. And actually, I suppose I could just, this might be quicker, copy. Okay, so then this just changes to keep 2, 3. And the thing I kind of interrupted myself on saying was that I like it when it states because it provides the visual feedback to the person very quickly. So there we see I'm hitting 1 1, 2 2, 3 3, 2 2, 4 4, 3 3, 1 1, 4 4. And then, I'll go ahead and wire up this to finish off this video, but I'll make changes to the thing. It'll be the parent groups, this thing, and then it'll be these the keep ones. So it's like, are we going to keep these or not? Oh, wait. Actually, we're going to change that thing, and then we're going to change the fields. And so this would be that floating groups, keep 1. And this would be the floating groups, keep 2. And as we wrap this up, this was all, a number. It's a mixture, right? I want to give an example and share what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like it doesn't really affect your world. You just want to know how to basically utilize this keyboard shortcut. So to pair off that stuff from what we've just done here, and we're going to leave this example behind. After one final thing, and here, because here we'll go 1 and 3, and then we'll do RR. And RR, it's got but the one thing I can see with the RR is that it updated these ones. And so I suppose I would also go, let's see, hide an element, and that would be the floating group, and then also a reset on the data within this floating group, because, that's what I want. Okay, so we'll just see this in action. Well, there's some additional data to do to make these have the conditionals and have them turned on when it's re-edited, but we kind of got the point. So looking at the a summary of the part of this that is important to, or it's the part that you care about, I would imagine, for coming to this video, the keyboard shortcuts, the triggers. Number one, go install the plugin. Number two, drag it onto the page and then decide how which of these keyboard shortcuts you want to use. And then number three, set up your workflows by using this elements. This will show up under this area. The thing is triggered here, and there's this cool conditional that could make sense or maybe not, depending on your particular configuration, where something is visible, so those keyboard strokes don't trigger things, under different circumstances, perhaps. And then that's basically it. There's a bunch of different things you can do. You do all the other normal stuff that you would do with workflows, but that is how you trigger workflows using keyboard shortcuts in Bubble. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me, and give it a like, a thumbs up. That tells YouTube that, okay, these videos are worthwhile. Let's keep sharing them. Share the love and with the great tutorials like this. So thanks for sticking around, and see you in another video.